Good morning. It is the Drake Toll Show. Syndicated in over 300 cities in America. Somewhere right now, in the confines of Rockwall, Texas, Cooper woke up to go to the gym and decided to turn the fan on. You know what? The Drake Toll Show is here. And this is an opportunity for me, Drake Toll from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. An opportunity for me and you to gather wherever you are. I stay stationary. You move for the next 3 hours. And in your movement, what we will do together is talk about sports. But I every day, here's what I do. Every day, here's what I do. When I get onto the Drake Toll Show, and I set up to do 3 hours of sports with you, I turn my TV on and I quad box. You have four stations you can watch, 4 channels you can watch. And what I see a lot out of, national morning talk is instead of sports, just random storylines. Like I could wake up today and I could pull a hypothetical out of the air and say, what if Myles Garrett played for the Los Angeles Rams? But he won't. I could ask that question. You and I could have that conversation. But do you want to have that conversation? Is that a hypothetical you want to chase on February 27th? March is right around the corner. College basketball is heating up. The Olympics just happened. The men's team winning gold, the women's team winning gold in hockey. Alyssa Liu taking the world by storm. Oh, and in college football, the world is burning. The president will now meet with leaders of the sport to try to figure things out, to try to fix things. And if you missed it yesterday, the NFL Players Association did what it does every year, and that is completely dunk on certain organizations, certain franchises in the National Football League, and tell the others that they are the best at what they do as it pertains to serving the players. And that is where we will start today. Later in the show, guaranteed, book it, Jackie Bradley Jr., Red Sox legend, 2-time World Series champion, will join the Drake Toll Show to talk about his new role as an Indianapolis Clown, a member of the Banana Ball Championship League, the Savannah Bananas, the one that founded that, brought on the Indianapolis Clowns, who were a Negro Leagues baseball team founded in the 1930s during the Great Depression. They were the last ones still standing, 1989. Of the Negro Leagues teams, the last one still standing, 1989. And now they are back tonight making their debut, and their starting center fielder is Jackie Bradley Jr. Partially bring it up because I'll be there. How fun is that? And banana ball is not something that we have to force down your throat. I will force nothing down your throat. But it's pretty cool to have Jackie Bradley Jr. on today to talk about his rookie debut in a brand new sport for him tonight before the Bananas play the Texas Tailgaters on ESPN tomorrow. I don't care about none of that. It don't make no sense to me. They're doing flips and stuff, dancing. That's all right if you have that opinion. I'm not mad at you. Again, I'm not going to force this down your throat. You especially don't want something forced down your throat. So we're good here. But it's Jackie Bradley Jr., Red Sox, 2-time World Series champion. Hey, order of business here. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Good morning, Addie.
Good morning. How are you?
I have always been told that I'm a very kind human being. Have you heard that?
Did your mom tell you that?
No. Though she has tried to call me the last 3 days, and I have been the worst. She's listening to this right now, by the way. I'm sorry, Mom. I will call you today.
Drake, I call my parents every day just to, tell them about life.
I know. It's been a long 3 days. I haven't called anyone the last 3 days. And maybe this is karma for that. So I get to Tallahassee, Florida, where we're playing Banana Bowl, the Bananas and whatnot. And I'm in a hotel overnight. Obviously, I don't live here. And so today I'm in a hotel. And for those that are watching via the live stream, because radio can't be radio anymore, got to have a YouTube stream or a Twitter stream, I am in the hotel bathroom. I think this is the first time a national radio show has ever been hosted from the hotel bathroom. Can we get on that? You're the producer. You're supposed to know things.
Do you have food poisoning again?
Hold on. You ready for this?
Do not flush. I cannot believe you just did that.
By the way, it is the worst toilet in the world. This bathroom needs a lot of help. It does. It takes an act of Congress to get this toilet to flush in the bathroom.
Oh, then it'll never
I don't
get
understand
done.
that.
It'll never get done then.
Luckily, I do not, as a human being, defecate or urinate, so we should be okay.
So why are you in the bathroom?
I have a roommate in the room, and Chad Reese, and I value him in our relationship. And I got up this morning and I went to turn on, the camera setup and the lights and the microphone, and I'm louder. It's a radio show. He just looked so sweet, so peaceful sleeping. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to move to the bathroom.
Are there any rooms, study rooms, conference rooms you could go to in the hotel?
Oh, yeah, no, probably. One can only assume that would be the case at a hotel like this. Pretty nice joint. That there would be a conference room or an opportunity for me to set up and do my thing and not, be in the bathroom of a hotel room on the 8th floor. Room 809. But you know what? That's a conversation for another day. Today's conversation revolves around the NFL Players Association. It's the most wonderful time. This is where we learn who really sucks. This is where we get insider information about which franchise, how your favorite franchise is not as fun as you thought it was, and how players across the National Football League do not want to play for your favorite franchise. Now, the Combine's going on too right now, by the way. So this is the middle of players trying to figure out, the next stars, trying to figure out where they're going to go. Where do they want to go? By the way, I've talked to plenty of guys who've been drafted in the National Football League, both leading up to the draft, after their veteran careers, and how they still feel about the draft. And most of them agree. At this point, one of the biggest reasons for nerves is not money. It's not where exactly you're. Oh, I need to be a top 15 draft pick. I need to be a top 30 draft pick. It's more about where am I moving my entire life? Where am I uprooting my life to go? Now, I should also be clear. A lot of these guys, and namely given what they make, the money they make, they will still live in. I mentioned Rockwall, Texas earlier, right? Jackson Smith and Jigba's from Rockwall. He'll probably always have a house there. He'll probably always have a long portion of his offseason spent in the Dallas area. That's pretty normal for NFL players. But they also know, hey, I now have my life anchored in a new city and for a new organization. Who is this organization? Who am I playing with? Because tomorrow, you could be drafted as a rookie out of Kansas State, and you could either be playing with Matthew Stafford as your quarterback, or you could be playing with. Come on, yep, there it is. You could be playing with Tua Tagovailoa or Kyler Murray as your quarterback.
In Call of Duty?
In Call of Duty, yes. You and Kyler Murray, due to the new Call of Duty game, can go play that together. You can play with each other. Touch yourself. Thank you. And that's a source of stress for a lot of these guys, where they're going to go. And now the NFL Players Association leaked third consecutive year, names the Miami Dolphins first in their annual report cards. The Minnesota Vikings, Washington Commanders round out the top three. None of those teams made the playoffs last year. They all finished with losing records. Minnesota finished 9-8. Players consistently describe the organization as the best in the NFL as it pertains to the Dolphins. The NFLPA survey wrote about Miami per ESPN. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, who finished 28th last year, now after firing Mike Tomlin, ranked 32nd as it is pertaining to franchises in the NFL. The Arizona Cardinals, 31st. They finished last place last year, so that's improvement. And the Cleveland Browns finished 30th, the same as 2025. Kind of crazy the Browns aren't 32nd. Like how you, the Pittsburgh Steelers, can land that spot, that feels hard to do. Also, you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have received low grades in several categories, according to the results attained by ESPN. Art Rooney according to the survey, ranks last in the league for willingness to invest in facilities, a trend reflected in the Steelers' poor facility ratings across the board. Listen to this. These guys are making more money than I will ever sniff. More money than you or I will ever sniff, probably. You and I can relate to each other in that. And number one overall for Miami gives them an A+. Players cite near perfect willingness by the owners to spend money and improve facilities. And again, the 32nd ranked team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, will not spend money. They will not upgrade facilities. Miami, A+ ownership rank. The Steelers, F, ranked 32nd in ownership. The locker room grade for the Steelers, F. They have 5 toilets in the locker room for coaches, staff, player personnel. 150 people on any given Sunday. Any given Sunday will need to use the potty multiple times, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have 5 of them. For perspective, I in Banana Ball with the party animals and Savannah Bananas, there are at least 6 toilets in every locker room, and that's for a baseball team, a banana ball team. While the Steelers would be ranked a B- and improving in food and nutrition, they are ranked 32nd and an F in strength coaches and a D in travel, whereas the Dolphins cleared A+ in every single one of those categories I just gave to you, including A+ and number 1 in food and nutrition due to the food's taste. Despite poor facilities, Mike Tomlin, mind you, remained one of the highest-rated coaches in the league during the NFLPA survey. He was the only thing keeping Pittsburgh, who obviously struggles with a lot of these things, the off-the-field stuff, the making players feel comfortable, making these world-class athletes feel like world-class athletes. Mike Tomlin was some reprieve to that. He helped them to the 28th ranking in the league last year, and he has since been fired, dropping the organization to 32nd. How must this feel as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan? To realize, do we kind of suck? And everybody in the league, all the players in the league are talking about how we kind of suck as an organization, as a franchise. That now on the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, they have to talk about how we're dead last in the league at doing things. And here's why this matters. The NFLPA explicitly calls this a free agency guide. March 11 is our target date here. March 8, March 11. We're less than 2 weeks away from the NFLPA handing this over to the players and the players using this in free agency as a guide to where they want to go. If 2 teams offer you the same contract, the Dolphins versus the Steelers, and I would love to go play in Miami compared to playing in Pittsburgh from a weather standpoint, the beach. 11, that club that you probably saw videos on social media of the United States hockey team attending, that Pat McAfee paid their $150,000 bill at 11 in Miami. That's in your backyard? Yeah, Dolphins players are doing okay. But if you have the same contract or similar contracts, and the comfortability of one location, say Miami, is better than the comfortability of another location, say Cleveland. One has a 5-star cafeteria. The other has a 0-star cafeteria. One has a 5-star reputation for its strength and conditioning. The other has 5 toilets for 53 men, which that's the low ball number here because, again, personnel. Choice is easy. If you've got a similar contract, the NFLPA is giving you a cheat sheet on where you want to play the rest of your career, where you want to spend a few years of your career. This is a tool, by the way. The public shaming is a tool. The NFLPA means for these to get out. So players can point to the Dolphins, the Vikings, and say, hey, those guys get all this stuff. Those guys get daycare. They get private planes. Why don't we get that as the Pittsburgh Steelers, as a historic brand? Like that pressure, an example of this, a couple of years ago, it forced the Bengals and I think the Cardinals, I know Cincinnati, I'm pretty sure the Cardinals, to provide free dinners to players. Because players started talking about how bad their situation was at these various locations, these various franchises. And the training staff categories, the weight room categories, the older players get in their career, the more they look at this list and say, oh, that team has an F in training room. They have a bad training facility. Oh, and their training staff is not good. Those that value their long-term health, again, especially veteran players, are looking at this list and saying, I don't want to play in Pittsburgh. I do not want to play in Cleveland. 2026, actually, this was so embarrassing for the NFL. The NFL filed a grievance to stop the rankings from being made public, claiming they were disparaging. Hey, some franchises are getting their feelings hurt. And I would say the fact that the league is fighting to keep these hidden, to make sure these grades aren't seen by the players, just shows that they do hurt a team's reputation. That when this comes out, it's like a tabloid every February or March, and you read it and you think, oh, how fun. What an interesting thing to chew on. It actually has a hurtful or helpful impact on your favorite team. And if you're a Steelers fan, though they've relied on winning culture in the Steeler way kind of sucks. They have 5 bathrooms. We're in an era of $100+ million contracts, and players expect like workplace minimum. They probably expect workplace maximum. But the floor has to be higher than 5 toilets. Has to be higher than the Pittsburgh Steelers, ranked F, 32nd in the NFL in strength and conditioning. B- in food and nutrition. I don't want to go somewhere where the food sucks. NFLPA just unlocked it. They showed us the life of the mind and how it operates in the National Football League. When we return, I would love to know how it operates in the NCAA. They now want to crack down, the National Collegiate Athletic Association, on penalties during the non-transfer window. Penalties for tampering. Remember when Lane Kiffin or Pete Golding, Ole Miss, called the Clemson kid and pulled him away during a school day? Will we finally have penalties for that? If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you need to. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
NFL trade season is open.
She hit me like that. Saw that thing so beautiful. That she just hit my heart. Oh, that full force and she got me like that. I be like, baby, why you so fine? Got to make you mine. So hard to find. Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, and she ain't even show nothing. She be walking around so confident, so heaven sent. I think she was meant to knock some daylight. Like, girl, you so fine. Girl, you rockin' like sublime, super fine. She was never lying, strutting in the heels or her slides. Either way, eyes on her every single day, week, year. Everyone wondering how she does it with no fear. All that confidence, was it heaven sent? Does it come within? Does it come run out? I don't know. She'll just have them running out and in. Man, they want to sin, talking deadly sin with Mrs. Lady. I don't understand why she hit them like. Yeah, like. Girl, you knock 'em dead. How you do the things you do? Baby, you knock 'em dead. I'm already said.
Touch yourself. Touch yourself. This is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Finally Friday, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the end of the week. Addie Bates produces, Curtis Poindexter runs the board. I cannot believe you did that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We have mastered the art as Westwood One Sports of whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. Because I wondered, I've listened to radio for my entire illustrious long-term life and my long career in radio. And I learned in college at Baylor about pirate radio, about the guys that would just, yell and stuff, and revolutionized it, and it was just loud noises. And I thought that was just clickbait for radio. That's how they got you. Is they said, hey, if you love flashy things, the lights, if you love glitz and glam, if you love the Savannah Bananas, you're going to love pirate radio. Pirate radio is for you. And I realized a few weeks ago, we're getting good at that. When you close, the end of the segment, this is the Drake Toll Show, and you get that. What? Come on, Curtis. Let's yeah. What? I missed that guy. Whatever happened to that guy?
Say hut.
The hard count, yeah.
What?
Is Con Knipple or Cooper Flag?
So good. Will Kyler Murray go to the Seattle Seahawks? You're like, wow, whoa, where did that come from? What? I've fallen kind of in love with it. It's like a slot machine that I don't know after I say Drake Toll Show what's going to happen in my ears. And it could twice a day. It's that woo. Well, hold on one more time, Kurt. Where did we find that? That's not a human noise. Humans aren't. If I heard that in the woods,
I had to go out of my way to get that, so you're welcome.
I believe it's the Rougarou. I think this is my time. My time has come. You hear that in the forest of Louisiana, and you are done. Life is over. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Addie Bates produces. It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Okay. Look, here's the deal. College football. I love college football. I'm a college football guy. It's what I watch. It's what I consume. I love March Madness. I follow college basketball closely, but if I had to pick one sport, what's the one thing that you've covered the longest, that you know the best, that if we're going to sit down, and this isn't a betting show, but if it was, and surely we will talk into next fall about college football and how to win money. But that's what I do on Saturdays. I sit and I watch college football. I put money on college football. And if you followed this sport, which if you say about you're more of an NFL guy, that's fine. I didn't grow up, Valonia, Arkansas wasn't an NFL market. We weren't like that. We didn't have the luxury of NFL there. Barely had TV. But we would rub two coconuts together and we would watch college football, the Razorbacks on Saturday. And I remember when Felix Jones, Darren McFadden, and Peyton Hillis, who was the worst of those three in the National Football League at the running back position? Pretty clearly Peyton Hillis, right?
When you're rubbing coconuts together.
I'm rubbing coconuts. Pretty clearly Peyton Hillis was the worst of those three, yet he was the only one of those three as the Madden cover athlete. Remember this? He had a 1,000-yard year in Cleveland. Incredible. And they allowed fans to vote for the Madden cover athlete. And, of course, they said it would be hilarious if the Cleveland Browns had a Madden cover athlete. Hillis is now the example, and I've come to know him well. Great guy. He's now the example of the Madden curse. Couldn't care less. He's one of those guys like, all right, I got kids. I've got way crazier things to worry about, changing diapers and whatnot, than the Madden curse. And Peyton Hillis played on that team at the University of Arkansas. Those three guys shared a college locker room with Matt Jones as their quarterback. And that's like my foundational years of starting to love college football. And those years are gone because in today's world, and Peyton Hillis has entered the transfer portal. And Darren McFadden has entered the transfer. And every player that you've ever loved has entered the transfer portal. They want to go somewhere else. See, it was not built to make the players feel happy, to make the players, to ensure that their mental health was in check by letting them enter the transfer portal. No, you couldn't do that. You had to sit out a year wherever you went. Make a lateral move, you sit out a year. And now the NCAA Football Oversight Committee. That was 10 years ago was our problem. Well, you'd had to sit out a year if you transferred. Today, February 27th, 2026, the issue is the Oversight Committee is recommending emergency legislation from the United States government to protect the transfer portal window by issuing penalties for schools and coaches who circumvent the rules. There are things that I want changed in college football and things that I want changed now, please. And one of them is not the circumventing of the transfer portal window. Sure, that can be an issue, but that is issue 15 on my list of 20 issues. This is not a top 5, top 10 thing we should be worried about right now. What we should be worried about is what happened at Ole Miss and Clemson. Now what? A month ago. Here's your timeline. Here's what we're not stopping with this. Right now, we are asking vehemently, can you please not recruit players and not grab transfers in the portal? Please. When it's not portal season. My issue is with what's happening in portal season. Listen to this. January 4th and 5th of 2026. ACC Defensive Player of the Year, Luke Farrelly, who's playing at Cal at the time, with his father, visits Clemson directly after visiting Ole Miss while he was in the transfer portal. January 4th and January 5th is his visit to Clemson. Farrelly's father tells Dabo the Ole Miss visit was a mess, unorganized. Pete Golding had just been brought in. It was this weird situation where they were trying to play in the college football playoff, and no one really knew what was going on because Lane Kiffin had left, and the AD wouldn't let Lane Kiffin coach. It was a mess, unorganized. So Farrelly on January 6th, So Pirelli on January 6th decides to commit to Clemson. He believed, according to things that Dabo's talked about, he believed, I'm going to fill a linebacker spot with Clemson and likely be a star as a guy who's ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, and Dabo canceled all other visits for transfer linebackers. He got his guy, Luke Pirelli. So January 6th, he commits to Clemson. January 7th, he signs a financial aid agreement. So he officially puts pen to paper, I'm going to Clemson. It's legally binding for the school and for Luke Pirelli. And January 11th, life moves fast. His first visit on campus at Clemson was January 4th. By January 11th, he had moved to Clemson. He rents an apartment, buys a car, and attends class at 8 a.m. He's a sociology student in Clemson, South Carolina. He begins training with the team January 11th. Da-dum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. January 14th. Pirelli's agent Ryan Williams calls the Clemson GM Jordan Sorrells, warns him Ole Miss is coming hard after Pirelli, despite him being enrolled at Clemson. January 15th, that's Pirelli's agent, Ryan Williams, has warned the Clemson GM, better hold on to this kid, some bad things are happening. By January 15th, it's 8 a.m. Pirelli is sitting in his class, sociology, if you remember. Pete Golding, the Ole Miss head coach, allegedly texts him, I know you're signed. What's the buyout? Golding reportedly texts Pirelli a photo of a $1 million one-year contract. Golding, then, allegedly, has Trinidad Chambliss call Luke Pirelli. And by the way, back then, Chambliss did not know whether or not he'd be cleared by the NCAA to come back for another year. Trinidad Chambliss calls Pirelli from Golding's own phone to pressure him into the portal. Does this sound legal? Does this sound like we should be doing this, allowing this? Pirelli's agent tells Clemson that Ole Miss has upped their offer to $2 million over 2 years. That is the next day, January 16th. The agent asks Clemson to match it. Dabo refuses to enter a bidding war for a player he already has, a player on his roster. And then came the fallout. On January 22nd, Pirelli officially re-entered the transfer portal, committed to Ole Miss. Dabo Swinney would then go public, read a prepared statement for 8.5 minutes, call it blatant tampering, and the NCAA responded to Clemson's formal grievance by issuing a memo to all schools promising significant penalties for tampering, including a proposed 6-game suspension for head coaches. Hey, guess what? That's the problem. The NCAA investigation's ongoing. It's never going to end. It's never going to come to anything. That is the most blatant story, picture of what's wrong with college football. You can't just do that. Dabo Swinney even saying he has never spoken to Pete Golding. The direct quote is, I don't know him. A disaster for Clemson. They stopped recruiting other linebackers. They had their guy. This was their player. Luke Pirelli was a member of the Clemson Tigers in 2026. All for Pete Golding, the head coach of another college football team, to text a kid and say, hey, what's your buyout? Here's a picture of $1 million. You know what? Check that. Here's a picture of $2 million. And how does the NCAA respond to all of this yesterday? We, the NCAA Football Oversight Committee, are recommending emergency legislation to protect the transfer portal window by issuing penalties for schools who circumvent the rules. If you're reading that, that does not say we're going to cut out tampering. It does not say we're going to crack down on college football and police the transfer portal. It does not say we're going to push for what is right in the sport by ensuring that Luke Pirelli's situation is the last of its kind. It doesn't say that. The NCAA just says that now they want to penalize schools who add players. And they add them when the transfer portal window is closed. Like, no. I have bigger problems with what's happening while the transfer portal is open. I don't have as many problems with what's happening with the portal after it's closed. Like, sure, maybe those examples are egregious too. But how are you going to regulate the transfer portal outside the transfer portal window when you can't even regulate the transfer portal during the transfer portal window? The legislation would become effective immediately. The NCAA writes, I don't care. I don't care if it becomes effective. How can you not police your own sport? What are you good for? I've been told this by administrators in college football. Outside of signing papers, being the overhead, outside of getting the legal stuff out of the way and taking care of that jazz that coaches don't want to deal with, universities don't want to deal with, being a figurehead to keep you out of trouble the best they can. Outside of that, and they're pretty bad at that, the NCAA has no bearing on college sports. They'll be sued. Whatever they want won't happen. And they continue to fight the wrong battles. Hey, let's put this fire out. Boss, that's a campfire. Half the town is ablaze over here. And you're worried about the campfire. You should have put out that first campfire. Because that spark is now a complete disaster. Smoldering in college football, and you're fixing the wrong things. Leave it to the NCAA. Leave it to the NCAA. Biggest Losers on the way. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Progressivecommercial.com. Biggest Losers up next. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The NFL Combine is underway. GMs are meeting, and trade season has officially sparked. We're breaking down the moves that could reshape the league and your team. Westwood One Sports.
Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra, ey. Pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra. Me las voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos un selfie. 6 chis, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos un selfie. 6 chis, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí. Me gustan mucho las Gabriela, las Patricia, las Nicole, la Sofía. Mi primera novia en Kinder María y mi primer amor se llamaba Talía. Tengo una colombiana que me escribe todos los días y una mexicana que ni yo sabía. Otra en San Antonio que me quiere todavía y las de PR que toditas son mías. Una dominicana que juega bombón, juega bombón. La de Barcelona que vino en avión y dice que mi bicho está cabrón. Yo dejo que jueguen con mi corazón. Quisiera mudarme con todas por una mansión. El día que me case te envío la invitación, muchacho, deja eso. Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo una, mañana otra, ey. Pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Ey, muchas novias, hoy tengo una, mañana otra. Titi me preguntó.
Muchacho, ¿y para qué tú quieres tanta novia?
Me la voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. 6 chis, ey. Que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP, ey. Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar un selfie. 6 chis, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí.
Oye, muchacho, el diablo azaroso. Suéltese más vivir que tú tienes en la calle. Búscate una mujer seria para ti. Muchacho, el diablo. Coño.
Yo quisiera enamorarme, pero no puedo, Yo quisiera enamorarme, pero no puedo, Sorry, yo no confío, nah, ni en mí mismo confío. Si quieres quedarte, hoy que hace frío y mañana te vas. Nah, muchas quieren mi baby gravy, quieren tener mi primogénito, ey, y llevarse el crédito. Ya me aburrí y quiero un totito inédito. Uno nuevo. Hazle caso a tu amiga, ella tiene razón. Yo voy a romperte el corazón, ey, no te enamores de mí, ey, sorry, yo soy así, ey, no sé por qué soy así. Hazle caso a tu amiga, ella tiene razón. Yo voy a romperte el corazón, No te enamores de mí, no. Sorry, yo soy así, ya, no quiero ser así, no.
This guy stinks!
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. He was in high school, they called him Bad Curtis. Like the bone. But bad as a compliment, because Curtis was bad. Mal, if you will.
Actually, I ditched a lot, so it's probably real bad.
He was bad? You're saying he's not bad anymore?
Curtis is still bad. It blows my mind that Curtis is 35. I'm not okay with that.
He's not about to die.
Jackie Bradley Jr. also 35. So now what? I don't know what that has to do with anything other than Jackie Bradley Jr. joins the show later on. But he's Curtis Poindexter, and he runs the board. Addie Bates produces in Washington, D.C. Last night, we let the banana ball talk. Just to show you, and to Addie's reluctance, storyline. You ready? Storyline time. This is going into our biggest losers. This is our biggest winner today, before our biggest losers. Storyline time. Eric Jones Jr., longtime member of the Savannah Bananas, leads banana ball all-time in home runs. This new blossoming sport that will be on ESPN or ABC 25 times this year. That's a lot. You'll see it on your TV. I'll be there broadcasting it on your TV. That's why I care. I broadcast these games every weekend, every night. Eric Jones Jr., all-time leader in home runs, was not a franchise guy. He was not franchised by the Bananas last year during the draft. So he goes to one of the newer teams, the Firefighters. Okay, they played their first game last night at Florida State against the Loco Beach Coconuts, also brand new team. So you're trying to establish a sport, right? Sold out game, Dick Hauser Field, home of Florida State baseball. Last night, first home run in Banana Ball Championship League, it's the league this year, league history. Off the bat of Eric Jones, here's how it sounded on BTV.
One of the reasons the Firefighters wanted to get EJ aboard is he can bring home runs on base. And he loads one to left field on on his first swing with the firefighters. AJ pumps it. A 5-alarm blast for Eric Jones Jr. Get that 3 out of here. It's all about the 4. You want to talk about validation? Eric Jones Jr.'s first hit with the firefighters is a home run.
Yeah, with Freebird playing in the background. Now what, Addie Bates? Now what?
Just sounds like you're trying to compete with the Olympics.
Home runs work. Home runs are hot at every level.
Do y'all use a normal baseball, like a normal one?
Yeah, 100%. Why would we not use normal baseball?
It's not made out of a banana?
Yeah, sorry, that's a crazy question. Y'all do backflips and, like, hug each other and, like, kiss and stuff on the field. Sorry, like, it's a weird question. Like, do you use a normal baseball? I know. Do you not remember
when the Red Sox, and this is when Jackie Bradley Jr. was in the outfield, would hump each other after every inning? Touch yourself at every game. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm not a Red Sox fan. That's
the real 7th inning stretch.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is a real baseball, and the bats are all pro-level bats. Louisville Slugger is the official bat provider.
Oh.
If you go to the Slugger Museum, you can find a full display of the party animals and Savannah Bananas.
That means I have to go to Kentucky.
Correct. Yeah, that's where Louisville is. Nice job.
Yeah, I don't know. That was good, though. That was good. What other losers do we have?
Biggest losers of the day. Our first biggest loser of the day, we will elect with the first overall pick for the biggest losers. Tim Hardaway Jr. sat down for his post-game media availability, realized that 0 reporters were there, and then left. Here's how it sounded in Denver.
Is anyone back there?
All right. You have a great evening.
Yeah, you guys got it?
Y'all good? No good? Perfect.
That's it. That was the entire press conference. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Almost as good as that highlight the other day.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 10 seconds.
What game was that?
That was a long time.
Was that a college game where... What game was that?
It was a college basketball record getting set, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a record being set, and they were like, and there it is. They were, and then they were like,
no, it's like Joseph Tugler. It's like Tugler, corner, pulls up, got it. That was the whole highlight. Swish. All right, cool. That was a shot that was made in the game. Tim Hardaway Jr., no questions at his press conference. Thoughts and prayers with you. Biggest losers today. You want to take this one? Alek Manoah?
Oh, yeah, this one's amazing. So he said that, by the way, he did not pitch last year, did not pitch in the majors because he's been struggling. He said he believes that he was a very big piece of the Blue Jays getting to the World Series last season. All right, didn't pitch in the majors. And so Matt LaBelle goes, I mean, when you think of it, him not pitching did help the Blue Jays a lot. Because if you don't know, he had one good season, and then he was ass. So thank you, Alek Manoah. You were a big piece.
He didn't pitch a single game in the bigs last year, so how would he have been a big piece of the Jays getting to the World Series?
Nobody knows.
We keeping a buck right now, we ass.
Do you remember when Jason Hayward played for the Cubs and they won the World Series? Remember how he kind of sucked that year?
Yep.
Namely, at the end of the season, he just wasn't that great. And then you know what happened in Game 7 of the World Series? They go into that rain delay, and Jason Hayward saves the season. He says, come on, guys. He Goonies their asses and says, this is our time down here. Goonies, the movie. Yeah, we got to ruin everything now.
Sorry, I thought you said Gooners, my bad.
Every word is, I'm not chronically online enough for this. Hayward gives them a Goonies-esque speech, and they win the World Series. He was not, an elite presence on the field, someone that directly correlated his performance-wise to the Cubs absolutely winning the World Series. But if he told me he believed he was a very big piece of the Cubs winning that series, I'm cool with that.
Manoah did not pitch. But hey, he was a big
Manoah,
piece.
on the other hand, no. Biggest losers today, Brandon Staley. This is from ML Football yesterday. Saints DC Brandon Staley has gone viral for looking completely different after spending multiple seasons as the Chargers head coach. Looks like he's 35 years older. He does. In his introductory presser in LA, he looks so nice and colorful and filled out and like a normal human being. And pictures that surfaced yesterday, he looks like a skeleton. Like Walter Goggins already kind of looks like a skeleton.
Goggins. Walton Goggins?
This is worse.
Walton Goggins.
Walto G.
Goggins.
Staley's got a rough. He needs some help.
Victor Wembanyama juice.
Tingus Pingus. The Steelers ranked the worst organization in the NFL according to the NFLPA team report card. Players reported the locker room only has 5 bathroom stalls for the entire team. It's the lowest rated home field due to high school and colleges using the field each week. Poor field conditions. Ownership ranked dead last in willingness to invest in facilities. And strength coaches ranked dead last in the NFL. And our final biggest loser, Addie Bates, for her incessant and distracting love of Arch Manning. And her intent as her dying wish to be betrothed, touch herself to the Texas starting quarterback.
Nothing wrong was said there. No lie was said.
She places in our rundown for the day as a topic of conversation that McDonald's on March 3rd will be unveiling the Big Arch, McDonald's biggest burger ever, and it will finally arrive in the U.S. on March 3rd. Addie is saying, do not let Arch Manning have a bad game in 2026. Because people will be posting this as a meme of the Big Arch, and it's just
in
McDonald's largest burger of all time.
I can't wait to see the Big Arch.
Yep. You would say some stuff like that. Biggest losers of the day. Arch Manning and Addie Bates in tandem. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Staley for looking skeletori. My friend Alec Manoah, who will be on the show later today, for saying he was a major piece of the Toronto Blue Jays. And Tim Hardaway for having no media at his press conference. Big day today. Obituaries coming up. Did the targeting rule die? Did we get rid of targeting in college football? How do we pull that off? Oh, and Jackie Bradley Jr. joins the program. 310-840-4910. Addie Bates produces in Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Obituaries. The quickie, Jackie Bradley Jr., and we'll go around the NFL. Anthony Richardson. Okay to seek a trade. You can even get involved yourself. 310-840-4910. 310-840-4910. See you on the other side. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
'cause I've been in trouble. No pleasure here on earth I find. For in this world I'm bound to ramble. I have no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help me now. Heads fare thee well, my old true lover. I never expect to see you again. For I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps you'll die upon this train. You can bury me in Sunny Valley for many years where I may lay. And you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger. My face you never see no more. But there is one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore. I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good time roll. I got a little sugar.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Drake Toll Show.
She's sitting on a
Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you. Live from a bathroom. Good acoustics, by the way. I should be clear. Good acoustics. A bathroom in the middle of Tallahassee, Florida, which is the capital of the state of Florida, the home of Florida State, where last night the Loco Beach Coconuts upset the Firefighters 6-4 final score. You keep score of those games? Yes, Addie.
Did I say? I never said that. You're putting words in my mouth.
You would say something like that. You would say something like that about Banana Ball.
I thought you were going to be like,
hate something.
I did not say I hate. I have never said I hated it. I've said I appreciate it for what it is. It's just not for me. And you're like, I'm not going to force it down your throat. And then proceeds to force it down people's throats.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm bringing up something that I care about, that I'm passionate about. It's
yes,
kind of electric.
And that's fine. And I wasn't going to say anything about it. I have not said anything negative. Like, you're just like...
You did. You asked if we used a ball.
I asked if it was a normal baseball.
And I took offense to that.
Okay, well...
And I took offense to that.
I'm going to... Never mind. I'm going to say something somebody once told me. I'm sorry you mistook what I meant, and you got offended by it. Terrible,
Did a guy tell you that?
100%.
God, Lord knows.
Yep.
Lord knows.
Can you, 30 seconds here, and then I want to get to our obituaries for today. I said yesterday something I regret, and that PETA has reached out to my representatives and lawyers about. And that is the direct quote was, I want to punt that monkey. And it was in reference to Punch, the viral monkey that carries around a stuffed orangutan in his enclosure in what I believe to be Japan, maybe China. Mm-hmm. Could you possibly give me 30 seconds of perspective on who Punch the monkey is and why I should not want to punt him?
Yeah, so he's a little monkey who was abandoned by his mom. His mom, disowned him, so they put him with this, pack of other monkeys, the same kind of monkeys, and he's had a hard time assimilating at first, and he's a little guy. But what they did is they gave him that stuffed orangutan so that way he has something for himself. So he literally brings it with him everywhere. He feels like it's almost his mom who abandoned him. And you're sitting there making fun of him. When look how cute he is. Look at that.
I don't know if I care is the only problem.
You're just not an empathetic person. That's okay.
Maybe we're realizing things slowly but surely on the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Time for today's obituaries. Who died today? R.I.P. Just killed the club. Dead and hopefully gone forever. The targeting rule as it was known in college football. This has not been officially passed all the way. I believe it will be. 2026 season, the Division I Football Rules Subcommittee proposed a one-year trial rule to modify the penalty structure when players are called for targeting. Under this recommendation, a player disqualified for targeting for the first time during the season, regardless of which half it occurs, could play the next game. Any player disqualified for targeting a second time during his season would be required to miss the first half of the next game. If a player is disqualified for a third targeting penalty during the season, the player is required to miss the entire next game. So now we start to punish the true criminals. Now we start to punish those who do bad on a regular basis. Currently, we're punishing the good, hardworking Americans that you know and love that are playing college football at linebacker and are just wrong place, wrong time. My helmet hits yours, and now I've been ejected for the rest of this game, as well as the first half of my next game. And it ruins, because most of the time, man, unless you're a serial offender, a repeat offender with something like this, these players are not headhunting. They just get called for a targeting because one time, and maybe, sure, you could argue that one time can be life-changing, I guess, but that is the assumed risk of playing college football. Is that, 2026, testing this out, you do not necessarily automatically penalize a guy who just flubs it and kick him out for the first half of a college football playoff game. That shouldn't be a thing. it's good that we're reworking targeting and that it may just die today. Also dead today, Giancarlo Stanton's elbow. Dealing with some pretty extreme elbow injuries, the Yankees star, who's been around for a while. The streets remembered Giancarlo Stanton, the Miami Marlin. But he's quoted yesterday via Randy Miller of NJ.com as saying, "I can't open a bottle. I can't open a bag of chips, a bag of anything. That's the way it is. I have been told it is very tough to compete in a Major League Baseball game when you cannot open a bottle or bag of chips or a bag of anything, and that is the way that it is." Addy, Stanton not having an elbow seems like it might affect how he plays in Major League Baseball.
This is so funny. I don't know if any of his joints work because he has the worst knees in the league. Bad elbow. So have fun being a DH. Hopefully you get a home run every time because God forbid this man has to run the bases. But man, not opening a bag of chips. Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, but guy hit ball very hard.
Yeah. No doubt.
And as we know, when guy hit ball very hard, yeah, we'll excuse a lot of things because of that.
A lot of things.
And that is the case for Giancarlo Stanton. Finally, the last obituary today, the Josh Pate college football interview with President Donald Trump. So this picked up some traction earlier in the week. We didn't talk about it because I don't necessarily care to, I'm not going to police what other shows do, what other content creators do. And you know what? I think I mentioned a bit, what do you do if the president calls you and says, "I want to be on your podcast"? Some people say yes automatically. Other people say no altogether. They would just want to stay away from politics. For Pate, who I've been around a couple different times and had on a few different shows, always been a nice guy, stand-up guy to me, by the way. For Pate, he did an interview with the President of the United States at what looked like the Varsity in Atlanta, which is a hot dog shop. Pate has now deleted the Trump video from his YouTube channel. The live stream that it was buried in is still up. And Crazy Uncle Lou tweets, not sure what the thinking is there. So the video itself of him with the president only got 40,000 views, and so a relative flop for what was the expectation there. And look, I think there are a million different opinions on something like this, and most of them are probably pretty good. Like, you believe whatever you want to believe. If you ask me, I think it's hard to say, hey, I am not political, and this is a sports show, and we're going to avoid politics, but then have a politician on the show. And maybe it's a little different, okay? Can this be an example, please? Can I give you an example, Addie, of where it would be different?
Sure.
If I had Herschel Walker on tomorrow, and we talked about his time with the Georgia Bulldogs, that's an interview with a former athlete. Right? That's not a political interview. If I have Herschel Walker on and I say, "Herschel, should we ban Medicaid?" That's a problem. That shouldn't be a Drake Toll Show topic.
I think you can say it's not political, but because that person has been involved in politics in a very big way in the spotlight, people are going to say, "Hey, you had that, so you subscribe to that." That's just how that would go.
Good headline from Addie. Donald Trump has been involved in politics in a very big way. But yes, he's the president.
I was talking about Herschel Walker.
Okay, I see that. But yes. Anytime you have I'm sorry, hand up. That's on me. You have a politician on, it's going to be taken political. People are going to feel a certain type of way. Also, and this is the most rudimentary take that I could give on this, Donald Trump doesn't know about college football. And that's fine. I don't need him to. I don't need any politician to, I'm not begging Condoleezza Rice to be in the room on all college football conversations or to bring up college football when she's on Capitol Hill. Just innately, when you have a politician on, it's going to cause controversy. And you accept that. You take that on when you decide to do it. And ultimately, Pate had to delete the interview. And that is sometimes... Oh, wait a second. Oh, someone's at my door. Oh! The consequences of my actions? I haven't seen you in years. They always knock.
Probably
the
just woke
obituary.
up.
It's time for the quickie. Chad? Yeah, I probably did. The top 5 headlines in all of sports. I have 1 minute to respond to each of them.
Here's your first headline. Con Knippel sets rookie 3-point record in 59 games.
I do fear that a month and a half ago, when we first brought up the idea, we had a guest, a very high-profile guest on this show, in the middle of like a heated playoff run for a certain team, and that guest was asked if Con Knippel was going to win the Rookie of the Year over Cooper Flagg. I thought it was such a silly thing to kick around in the middle of an NFL playoff, in the middle of the NFL playoffs. And now it's like a top 3 NBA storyline of whether or not Con Knippel will beat out Cooper Flagg for, maybe we just have some real ball knowers in the ether. If Con Knippel will beat out Cooper Flagg for Rookie of the Year. How anyone beat Duke last season, by the way, incredible to me. How Houston came back to win that game in the Final Four is incredible. Con Knippel might be my vote for Rookie of the Year right now. He just broke the 3-point record. That's pretty insane. Credit to Knippel, and genuinely, in the next week, 2 weeks, we will be having a real conversation about whether or not he's the Rookie of the Year.
I guess we know ball on Westwood One Sports Night. Shout out those guys.
What?
Sports. Trump and college leaders to meet on March 6th.
Yeah, I thought about whether or not this was a segment today, and I wanted to open the show discussing it a bit. But, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think this is going to be a kind of politician sits down with a room of people and says, let me hear you out. What will they actually be able to change? I don't think much. The Mountain West, Gloria Nevarez will be there. Tim Pernetti, Tony Dungy, Urban Meyer, Mac Brown, Nick Saban. The ADs from Notre Dame and Wake Forest. Ron DeSantis and Condoleezza Rice will be there. Adam Silver, Jonathan Kraft, the president of the Patriots. Presidents from Fox and ESPN, Tim Tebow, Bryson DeChambeau, Charlie Ward. Presidents from Texas, Clemson, Tennessee, Cody Campbell from Texas Tech. It's going to be a room of 45 really random people. And Condoleezza Rice is going to shake the hand of Urban Meyer. I just don't think anything's going to get done.
No, that's also like the group of the worst people I'd want to be around. Like, get me out of there.
Okay, stop.
Tiger Woods, Tim Tebow, they're going to be there.
And Hawks? Where 2 or more are gathered, 3 or more, where 3 or more are gathered, surely he is there.
Hawks plan Magic City night to honor the institution. Have you heard about this?
Hold on, what?
Hawks, the Atlanta Hawks, like basketball, plan Magic City night to honor.
They playing strip club night?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yes.
The Atlanta Hawks are having strip club night?
Yes. Yes.
We need the NFLPA to get in here. We need the NFLPA to be ranking everything. They're doing strip club night at the Atlanta Hawks game?
Yes.
Are they giving away bobbleheads of cinnamon and spice?
And everything nice. They're not calling it that, though.
Are we going to get like a towel that has a depiction of Stardust on it? She's my favorite.
What the?
I mean, genuinely, what's the giveaway? If they're celebrating Magic City, the iconic strip club at Atlanta Hawks strip club night.
Yeah, so the Hawks are hosting Magic City Monday, honoring the iconic Atlanta strip club on March 16th. Atlanta rapper T.I. will perform. The Hawks will serve Magic City's world-famous wings at the game, and there will be limited edition merch.
Yes, Magic City, obviously world-renowned for its wings.
It is.
For its chicken wings.
People, yes, it's a thing.
Get out of here. Our country's gone to hell.
I would say that's
a Southern
awesome.
Father of 3, family man. They're having strip club night at the Atlanta Hawks game.
They didn't call it that. It's just Magic City Monday.
They're
gonna have to
just
win.
said strip club. to honor the iconic strip club.
Well,
you said the words strip club.
Yeah, but they're not calling it strip club night. They're calling
That's
it
what it
Magic
is.
City Monday. Okay. Having T.I., having the famous wings and limited edition merch.
I can call it Euthanization Wednesday.
An edition?
Nothing about just putting a day next to it doesn't make it cool to euthanize.
All right, so everybody, this just in, Magic City Night offends Drake Toll. Yeah, you're soft. I think that's funny. I think it's a good promotion. Drake is
the last
offended.
one.
NCAA panel proposes targeting ejection changes.
Oh, from strip clubs to
God, you're so
ejections,
offended
huh?
by this.
Change the targeting rule. It's just crazy to me they would have a strip club night. I mean, if I don't have kids, I'm 25 years old, and I've dabbled in not strip clubs, but going out on the town in Atlanta or Miami. I've been in or in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I've been in some really interesting venues in my 25 years of life.
Like strip
I just
clubs.
don't think if I had kids, I don't think I want. If I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan, I don't think I want to have an entire night themed after the Timeout. Timeout's a legendary Texas strip club, by the way.
Yeah, then don't bring your kids. That's the beauty of this country is you have the freedom to not go.
Yeah.
Boom.
I won't be there. I won't.
Golly.
That is the quickie. Top 5 headlines in all of sports. 1 minute to respond to each of them. I took a little bit longer than usual because of the stripped club. Straight up jorking it. 310-840-4910. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app coming up. Colts say goodbye to Anthony Richardson. Here's why that is good or bad. This is the Drake Toll Show.
There's some big names on the trade block. Jalen Waddle.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, soul partner, Mr. Duck Sound, better known as Sir Douglas Quintet from San Antonio. Wherever you are, brother. Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind. For you don't belong to me. Your heart belongs to someone else. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day that you went away and left me? I was so lonely, praying for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? So lonely, pray for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're you're the blame for making me blue.
The world holds its breath in the fragile violet hour before an amber transition. Silence is the absence of noise, but more so it's an expectant prayer. There's a slow, deliberate grace of the horizon fracturing. A single bruised line of rose gold bleeds into the indigo. It announces the sun's return, a quietude that shames the thunder. The great arc of the sun crest, the landscape reborn, dew-dampened fields igniting every blade of grass to a shimmering emerald spear. There is profound, aching mercy in this rhythm. And no matter the wreckage of yesterday, the words we regret, the ghosts we carried to bed, the dawn has come. It's the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Eddie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. It's got every damn time. It's like that MLB Zen commercial. Like, what? I just got done screaming. I mean, berating the TV at Josh Smith, the relief pitcher of the Texas Rangers. Can't believe we put him in there again. Our reliever's the reason we'll never win the World Series. Throwing things all around the house. Then it's just MLB Network. They're pouring dirt on the field. I'm just hitting myself in the leg as hard as I can just to feel something. We'll never win. Oh, that's how it feels to be a passionate, caring sports fan about the Texas Rangers. How does it feel to be an Astros fan? They haven't won the World Series in a while. Whoa!
Whatever makes you happy, Drake Toll. Whatever makes you happy. Feels great to be an Astros fan. How many World Series do you have?
Same thing they said to Robert Kraft.
How many World Series do you have?
I have 0 personally.
How many do the Rangers have? How many do the Rangers have? Hold on.
They have a World Series far more recently than the Houston Astros, by the way.
Yes, 1 year more recently. And guess what? How have you done since
There
then?
are children.
How have you been
There
doing
are
since
children
then?
who are born who have never seen the Astros win the World Series, but have absolutely seen the Rangers do so.
That's great.
Yep. Now
That's great.
what?
Did you know you also modeled your ballpark after Dyken Park? Isn't that weird?
No.
How you're just trying to.
I've been to both ballparks, and that's just not true at all.
It is a thing. It is
Not
a
every
thing.
dome is the same. Not all dome is the same.
Break that down for me. What do you mean by that?
Let's open that conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat. Chris Mack joins the Drake Toll Show, as does Jackie Bradley Jr., the MLB legend, World Series champion, who's now in Banana Ball, playing for the Savannah Bananas organization with the Indianapolis Clowns. All that is to come. 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Around the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts have granted Anthony Richardson the okay for him to seek a trade, his agent has said. And there it is. There is the Florida kid, the star. Remember when Anthony Richardson came out of Florida and the Gators sucked? They may have fired Dan Mullen somewhere in there. They weren't good. Anthony Richardson was not a great college quarterback. He had flashes. And it's that classic tale of the guy who you wouldn't really care about, the guy who you wouldn't monitor, the guy who you wouldn't want your team to get until you turn on the national networks and you say, oh, interesting. The man on the TV says that I need to get Anthony Richardson. The man on the TV says that my team needs Anthony Richardson. There's always that guy, dog. And what's crazy about this is there are also the guys who you've heard of all year long. Max Duggan, TCU, is one of those really good story. I would say Johnny Manziel's in this category as well, of guys you hear about, guys who command storylines, guys who are at the forefront of college football. Their face is on everything in the postseason or in the middle of the season, or they win the Heisman. And then they don't get drafted in the top 5, the top 10, the top 15, the top 20. And you're wondering, how did this happen? Because that's all I talked about during the regular season was Johnny Manziel. That's all I talked about in the postseason was this story about Max Duggan leading TCU to an insane year, and then they just fell off the face of the earth when it came to draft season. And you always find that new name. Like, oh, shoot, Florida, Anthony Richardson? Oh, man, I guess I trust the scouts more than I trust myself. Hopefully my team gets Anthony Richardson. But then in the middle of a complicated career in the National Football League, still young, career is a strong word because it's only been a few years now. But he lost a preseason battle with Daniel Jones before last year. And Daniel Jones is not a bad quarterback. I don't mind Daniel Jones, honestly. But for what Anthony Richardson was supposed to be, for what Anthony Richardson was expected to be, AR-15 as an elite draft pick, as a guy who's about to go get paid, it has been a bust, a total bust. He lost a battle to Daniel Jones. Got to head to Daniel Jones' locker. And now Anthony Richardson, injuries could be a big piece of this. They are a big piece of this. Will not play for the Colts again. Here's the good news. Here's the good news for both parties. The good news for you, the Indianapolis Colts, is that you no longer have Anthony Richardson at quarterback. Everybody give it up. Awesome. You don't have to deal with Anthony Richardson anymore. A thing that hasn't worked out very well at all. If you are the rest of the NFL, this is good for you because now another quarterback, another option has presented itself. A good option, not in my mind, I don't think so, but an option nonetheless. And here's why this is awesome for one, Anthony Richardson. Because the NFL is in disarray at the quarterback position right now for 8 or 9 teams. 8 or 9 teams will be looking for a new quarterback. And if you look at this year's draft class, granted the combine's going on right now, and this can change and ebb and flow, but it feels like you got Fernando Mendoza, and then if you ask Dan Orlovsky, he would tell you that Ty Simpson is way better than Fernando Mendoza. That Ty Simpson should go number 1 overall instead of Fernando Mendoza if either of them are to go number 1 overall. And while I disagree wholeheartedly with that, and I do not believe that Fernando Mendoza should fall past 1 or that Ty Simpson should jump him. There are plenty of teams looking for a quarterback that will not be able to get one in the draft because the draft is just thin at the position. Quarterback situations across the NFL. John Frashella, we read this tweet the other day. The Falcons releasing Kirk Cousins, won't commit to Michael Penix. The Vikings won't commit to J.J. McCarthy. They probably shouldn't commit to J.J. McCarthy. The Steelers, Aaron Rodgers is somewhere climbing a 13-story building right now while sitting in a chair. Will he be the Steelers' starting quarterback next year with their 5 toilets they have in the locker room? The Jets, they kind of want Davis Mills. Is he the guy to turn it around? The Dolphins, will they get Malik Willis? The Browns, will they get Malik Willis or Ty Simpson, or will they just find out their competition? The Raiders need a quarterback. The Cardinals need a quarterback. 8 or 9 franchises need a guy. Someone might be stupid enough to take a chance on Anthony Richardson and say, you know what? It could be a pretty cheap option. We can make it a cheap option, and we can hope. His agent says that having the ability to explore trades gives him a new start after 3 tumultuous years. He was the 4th overall draft pick, and he has started 15 games in 3 years for the Colts. 11 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. And he missed 13 games after shoulder surgery as a rookie in 2023, and 4 games due to multiple injuries in 2024, and then last year was just a complete and utter crap show, for lack of a better. Fractured orbital bone, a warm-up accident, and he was on the injured reserve. He's only 23 years old, but said he had his vision impacted by the injury, and doctors had to they've indicated now they had to investigate this, and have indicated now that his vision has been restored. One physician even saying 20/20 in both eyes. Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts, whose daughter went to Baylor, by the way. Nice. Shameless plug. Will move forward with Daniel Jones and Riley Leonard. Jones, torn Achilles, by the way. And Leonard sucked so hard they couldn't let him play. Remember when they had to sign Phillip Rivers because Riley Leonard wasn't good enough for them? And Phillip Rivers was really old out there. Now AR-15, Anthony Richardson will have conversations with new teams and where to land. The big takeaway from this, someone's going to bring in Anthony Richardson because people are desperate. Franchises are desperate right now. He has 1 season remaining on his rookie contract unless his 2027 5th year is exercised. A $1.145 million base salary, $4.24 million roster bonus due in August. And the Colts will save $5.385 million in salary cap space, with $5.43 million in dead money if Richardson is traded before June 1st. See ya. Anthony Richardson, his time with the Colts ends. Elsewhere, NFL Combine, listen to this. David Bailey, best workout, top prospect, high riser, could be a top 3 pick now in the National Football League. The Texas Tech defensive lineman ran a 4.5.
For 1.62 is the split.
That is a
4.51 for David Bailey. That is a box checked.
Yeah, and I said those.
Very large human being, running very fast. David Bailey will be a top 5 pick, top 3 pick in my book. He's listed as a linebacker by Texas Tech for a large portion of the year. I watched a ton of Texas Tech since I'm hosting Locked On Big 12, and David Bailey, Romello Height next to him, wreaked absolute havoc on college football this year and is a freak. And he'll make an NFL franchise very happy at the top, especially if defense is the way you want to win. If you want to go the Seattle Seahawks route and do the whole defense thing, David Bailey's the kind of guy you want to grab onto. When we return of the Mac. Chris Mack joins the Drake Tulsa. Man, we get a lot of Chris Mack here recently on Westwood One Sports, and I love it. I love it so much. Chris Mack will join the Drake Toll Show and talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers needing to just hit restart. Just blow it all up, man. Just blow the whole thing up. Because now you're the number 32 ranked franchise out of 32 as it pertains to the NFLPA's rankings. That's bad. Chris Mack tries to give some reprieve. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
How long will the Steelers wait for a decision from Aaron Rodgers? Or could Mike
Jackie Bradley Jr. joins the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces from Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Chris, at this point, there is Westwood One Sports, the radio station, and Chris Mack, the institution. Odds are, at this rate, if I turn on any one of our affiliates across the country, I'm somehow listening to Chris Mack. I don't understand what's happening, but like 2 a.m., Chris Mack.
It's called being an innings eater, Drake, you know?
You get this like, yeah, but you're like a Koji Uhara. Like, I don't need you to just eat innings. You're effective.
Yeah,
you're getting
I
me
appreciate
there.
That's a hell of a comparison, actually.
Like, wow. If someone called me Koji Uhara, how would I react? That's not a question I've had to really think about in my life, but I will consider now. Does the Return of the Mac thing get old? At some point, are you like, man, I want to be more than just Return of the Mac guy?
So I've crested the wave. For years, it really bothered me. I was like, oh, yeah, because I've never heard this before, guys. Return of the Mac. And then after a while, I just learned to love it and embrace it and lean into it. And that's where I'm at this point. I'm like, nah, Return of the Mac, baby. I mean, as a guy who owned the single by Mark Morrison as a CD when I was preteen, I've finally come around to just fully embracing Return of the Mac. Yes.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers should come around to fully embracing more toilets in their locker room. And Chris Mack joins the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. At the Chris Mack, Y108 Pittsburgh. I have 2 toilets in my house. Chris, are you comfortable disclosing the amount of toilets that you have in your abode?
Yes, we have 4, Drake, and so we're one behind the Steelers.
Yep, you could add one little outhouse. You're an outhouse away from being the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Russell Wilson, for context, has 13 toilets, 13 bathrooms in his house. A couple of years ago with the Broncos, we were tracking, would he have more touchdown passes or toilets in his home for the duration of a season, which was a fun stat to track. 13 would be 8 more toilets than the Pittsburgh Steelers have. Are we blowing this out of proportion a bit, the NFLPA putting Pittsburgh at 32nd of 32 for franchises in the NFL and comfortability of the players? Are we overblowing this 5-toilet situation, or are the Steelers facing a serious issue?
Well, I think there's 2 ways to look at it. The at initial first blush, especially when you just, I shouldn't say fired because he decided to leave, but when you've detached yourself from your head coach who got an A in the survey from the players, you've got to decide what it is that makes your organization, your franchise unique, that players want to come play for you. And yes, the Steelers have a great legacy that stretches all the way back to the early to mid 1970s and 6 Super Bowls and all that. But it's been a long time since they've been back to one. So that is getting tarnished just a little bit. The championship pedigree of the Steelers organization, the standard being the standard. Now you're without the coach that a lot of people wanted to come play for. Nothing against Mike McCarthy. You may end up retaining your quarterback because Mike McCarthy, some people want to play for him. But let's be honest, I don't think as many people will be lined up to play for Mike McCarthy as may have been lined up to play for Mike Tomlin. And then finally, you do have the actual concrete, tangible criticism that comes with this, which is you share a building that is smaller than most NFL practice facilities with a college football team. And so you are crammed into space that is not apropos for an NFL franchise. And, oh, by the way, you are the Steelers, so you still sort of adhere to this old traditional thing. And look, some players like it, but you walk into the Steelers locker room and it's old wooden lockers with hooks on the inside. And like, it is just part of the ethos of being that blue collar team in a blue collar city. So some players, like I said, they appreciate that. But I think when you consider how many guys come out now from Bama and Georgia and Texas and, all of these D1 programs all over the country that have fantastic facilities, and then they come to Pittsburgh and they're like, wait, I had a nicer locker room in college. What's going on here? I thought I was coming to the NFL. So that really is the actual concrete, tangible criticism here, Drake. They've got to get out of their shared facility with Pitt on the south side of Pittsburgh. And I anticipate with the lease being up on that building in the next 3 years, I believe it is, that they've already started studying where that new facility may go. Without getting too deep into the weeds, the Rooney family, the elders of the Rooney family want it to be in the city of Pittsburgh, but there's a whole lot more space available at much less of a cost, about 45 minutes north of the city, out near where the Penguins practice in Cranberry, PA. So we'll see how long that happens and how many more Fs they have to get for locker room conditions before they actually step on the gas and get it done.
That is, if the Steelers don't move to Indiana, correct? I know that's been most
No,
franchises.
I can confirm the Steelers will not be moving to Northwest Indiana. The Bears can have it.
Okay. Or Kansas. Neither of those
Right.
for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I've been in the locker room in Fenway Park, and when people ask me, hey, of the facilities with the Savannah Bananas you've been in, what's the worst? Like Fenway's locker room is far and away the most dilapidated that I've been in, but on purpose. It should be.
Yeah.
I want it to be. You walk into that venue and you want to feel like, oh, Bill Lee is still pitching for the Boston Red Sox, and the locker room looks the exact same. I like that mystique. Lambeau is another example in the NFL of kind of that you can get away with having a more dilapidated facility because of the tradition that it's Soldier Field, because of the tradition it brings. Is that the same mystique in Pittsburgh? Can you continue to rely on, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's supposed to be this way for history and adversity?
No, I don't think they can. And again, look, some people are always going to want to play for, it's kind of some of the to relate it back to some of the stuff Aaron Rodgers said last summer. You get to play for one of those marquee brand name franchises in the league, and this is his second opportunity to do so. You take advantage of it. So like you said, the Packers, the Bears, the Steelers, you can't get away with that to an extent. Like I said, some players don't mind if it's a wooden locker with a stool in front of it rather than a big fancy locker with, it's just, if you've been to a D1 college football facility, like I said, it's like walking onto the bridge of a spaceship. It's completely different, a cruise ship. So some players are okay with that, but when you're not winning championships the way you were, like I said, when you've broken up with the head coach the way they have, all of that comes together with the facility being what it is. And oh, by the way, the field got an F- because they don't maintain that the way they should. So yeah, they've got to step it up in a couple regards. And if they don't do so soon, then that's where sort of the mystique, of the franchise and the organization and the logo can only be so maintained by a shoddy field and poor practice facilities.
Chris Mack on the Drake Toll Show. I'll take you behind the curtain. I was going to ask you a very good question about this whole training thing, about how the trainers and the strength and conditioning staff has been rated 32nd, given an F grade. Those people can be fired. But I think that question pales in comparison to this. Do fans really care? In the heart of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania right now, when this report comes out, do the fans even care to be 32nd? Or is this just another storyline that lasts 24 hours, it goes away, and no one discusses it again?
I don't think it gets completely tucked away and not talked about again, because you have to remember, Drake, it's Pittsburgh. We are very sensitive about our franchises spending money and doing the right thing by their players and their organizations and us, the fans, because we have the most beautiful ballpark in America, over on the North Shore, and a team that routinely over the last 45 years has not been worthy of that ballpark. And so people are very attuned to how ownership spends their money. And that includes the Steelers. It's the NFL. Everybody knows the cap is what it is. It helps keep some teams in smaller markets competitive, but the Steelers always spend up to the cap. That's not a problem. The problem is, how do they spend their money outside of that? Do they maintain the field better than they have so that chunks of grass aren't flying up in late October in the middle of a home game? Do they build a larger facility to attract better players who aren't necessarily just lured by the mystique of the logo? All of these things do add up. Do they hire a better strength and conditioning staff? Do they spend more on assistant coaches, which for years they hadn't? They were one of the bottom spenders in the league in assistant coaching staff salaries. So those things don't necessarily get brought up on a regular basis. They're not front of mind, but they are something that Pittsburgh fans definitely keep in the back of their head, so that when a survey like this comes out and team travel gets an F and locker room gets an F minus and treatment of families gets an F and home game field gets an F minus, everybody goes, team ownership gets a D minus. Everybody looks at each other and goes, maybe the Rooneys are just cheap. And we're Pittsburgh fans, so it wouldn't be the first time we question whether ownership of one of the teams we love is just cheap.
Chris, as you know, now that you've hosted every single one of our shows on Westwood One Sports in the last month, that we have a hard out in like a minute and a half.
Yes.
In a minute here, otherwise I'd give you all the time in the world. Aaron Rodgers is a Pittsburgh Steeler in 2026. Is that fact or fiction?
I believe it's fact. I believe he's going to do whatever maneuvering he can to emphasize that they need to go out and get some better weaponry for him, especially at the wide receiver position. So what I would say is, while there may be an agreement in place, a handshake agreement in place between the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers for him to come to Pittsburgh, he is going to wait to put actual pen to paper, I believe, my opinion, until he sees them go out and acquire at least one decent receiving weapon in free agency. But we're not going to be sitting around until late May, early June, I don't think, like we did last year.
Love it. Chris Mack, Y108 in Pittsburgh, Westwood One Sports. Incredibly grateful for your time.
Thank you, Drake. Have a great one.
Yep. You can hear Chris Mack later today on every single one of our shows on Westwood One Sports. He is kind of the network at this point. He's a pillar of it, and what a damn good dude to do it. Grateful to have him as a part of our fold and our family with Westwood One Sports. Addie Bates produces the show. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we return, Idiot of the Day. And then Jackie Bradley Jr., World Series champion, joins the Drake Toll Show. Oh, by the way, you can call the show yourself. 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king gets his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all.
British minds of my generation, gladly conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity. But that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating. And he came to brawl. Serve your client notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo doll. I guess time does make fools of us all.
This song's insane. Listen to the lyrics. Listen to the lyrics of the song.
Tokyo, Oklahoma is on the line. Is this Hiroshima 79805? I have a person-to-person for Miss Suline Poo. This is Tulsa, Oklahoma, ma'am. Is that you? I have your
John Anderson.
I know.
Said, Tokyo's on the line in Tulsa. Go ahead. I started to smile when she said to me, this is Suline Poo, who is calling, please. This is Tucson, it's your barn, Suline Poo, and your number one cowboy's missing you. Tokyo, Oklahoma is lonely tonight. Pretty Geisha girl, you are on my mind. Dark clouds hanging over Tulsa skies. Tokyo, Oklahoma is lonely tonight.
Certainly a
this
song
is
of all
what
time.
happens when a country artist from the 80s and 90s decides, I really actually am attracted to Japanese women, and I would like to write a song about them being in Oklahoma with me. So John Anderson just wrote Tokyo, Oklahoma. And I guess he learned some Japanese for this. Just a very odd premise for a song. First time I heard it, probably 4 months ago, I thought, that's really, really weird. And then I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, I need to listen to that song again and again and again and again.
It's like the Buck Owens one, made in Japan.
Yes, which a lot of people are on now.
Oh my gosh, it's trending everywhere.
It was a TikTok song there for a while. I think it's starting to die down a bit. But yeah, Tokyo, Oklahoma, John Anderson welcomes us back to the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This show has an air of variety show in a good way. I like it that way. I want you to learn things. I want you to not just learn things about sports. I want you to show up here and learn that the Atlanta Hawks are doing Magic City Night. And you're thinking to yourself, isn't that a strip club? Yes, it is a strip club. And the Atlanta Hawks are doing a themed night to the strip club, which is crazy. And I want you to hear Tokyo, Oklahoma by John Anderson and be enlightened and to tell your friends today at the water cooler. Did you know John Anderson wrote a song about a Japanese woman moving to Oklahoma to marry him? And your friend will say, no, I didn't. That sounds really weird. And you can respond with, it is really weird. But the song itself is even stranger. That's the goal. You listen to this show every day. And I'll show you the life of the mind. I'll give you the appeasable nuggets that make you'll show up to your Super Bowl party every year and you'll know exactly what to say. I told you to show up to your Super Bowl party and say that the Seattle Seahawks are number 1 in the NFL in DVOA. But then also to say that the Seattle Seahawks are 23rd in analytically against tight ends, and that Hunter Henry for New England could have success. I've got your back, dog. I want you to walk into every scenario, every situation, and know exactly what opinion to have. Con Knippel versus Cooper Flagg, who will win Rookie of the Year? You should be educated in that. And not only should you be educated in that, you should know that John Anderson wrote a song about a woman from Tokyo, or that the moon will be blood red on Monday. Or that this weekend, biggest winner, me. Not only will I be at the Banana Ball kickoff, Savannah Bananas on ESPN Saturday, I'm headed to the Grand Ole Opry. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou is getting the band back together for the first time in 25 years since winning a Grammy. The Coen Brothers movie. They're bringing back the entire, everybody who sang on the album. Some of them are dead, so they cannot make it. But a lot of them are going to be the Grand Ole Opry. And I have tickets and I'm going to go. Awesome! Legendary. That's the stuff we live for. That's the reason we show up today. You and myself. And you also show up for the idiots of the day.
Idiot of the day.
Idiot number 1. Here we go again. Dan Orlovsky. Ty Simpson is way better than Fernando Mendoza, says Dan Orlovsky. Here's the audio from ESPN.
Dio tweeted out, studying the first 5 games of Mendoza's tape, and it's not what I expected so far.
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah, so I'm through 8 games now, and through 8 games, you see good, but there's a lot of underwhelming. I think there's a lot when you watch Mendoza's tape through 8 games, not all the way through, and I understand that his season finishes strong, but there's not a ton of big-time throws. There's a lot of clean pockets. There's a ton of RPOs and back shoulder fades, a ton of them, RPOs and back shoulder fades. And then there's moments where you see, like, okay, that first read's not there. He's spooked with his feet, and he becomes a runner unnecessarily. If you take away the RPOs and then those back shoulder fades, there's just not a ton of balls over the middle of the field. Very good decisions. I think that's his superpower is he avoids negative plays. But you're looking at a guy that's saying first pick, and I think through 8 games, Ty Simpson's tape from Alabama through the first 8 games of the season, I think is significantly more impressive than Fernando Mendoza's.
Okay, really quick, he did play for Cal the year before, so maybe taking a few games to get acclimated to Kirk.
And I just haven't watched the back half of the season yet. I just haven't gotten to those.
Okay, so before I go to Lewis here and Stephen A., do you still think he is the clear-cut number 1 overall pick?
I'm not there, and that's through half of the season or so. I'm just not there. I have NFL season just got done 2 weeks ago. I haven't gotten to the back 7 or 8 games or so. So I
should be ashamed of yourself.
Half of the season.
They need me to take, shots from the front and the back, whatever it is.
I don't want to go in too hard here, but listening to that made my brain rot. I didn't watch half the season. Like, you can't defend your bad take. The teacher says, hey, you got an F on your test. Like, you failed the ACT. And Dan Orlovsky would be like, whoa, I only finished half the test. That's your fault. You showed up to the test. You showed up to the TV, to the microphone and said, I did half this work. And Fernando Mendoza sucks. Everyone says, hey, it's a terrible take. That's an idiotic take. And you say, well, I only did half the test. That's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Scale of 1 to bad, that is. And I've talked to coaches, college football coaches, defensive minds, offensive minds, who are very confident Fernando Mendoza is the number 1 overall pick and very confident he is going to take the NFL by storm. Dan just keeps going bad take after bad take, man, and it's kind of crazy. At some point, just put the gun down. Put the shovel down. We're good. We're good. Brady Kachuk, this is bad. This is bad. The White House released a video, an AI video of Kachuk plays in the NHL for a Canadian team, disparaging Canada. Here is the video the White House released.
They booed our national anthem, so I had to come out and teach those maple syrup eating f***s a lesson. Canada, we own you, lil bro.
Could you... Okay. Could you play it just that first 6 seconds again? Look, hang on to the words that Kachuk says here.
They booed our national anthem, so I had to come out and teach those maple syrup eating f***s a lesson. Canada, we own you, lil bro.
That would be a problem if you said that about Canada when you play for a Canadian team and Canadian fans love you. But here's the thing. The White House of the United States of America. And again, I will say the idiot statement. I don't want this to be political and everything. Whenever you bring up, politics or politicians or the White House, it becomes political. You can't do that. You can't AI a video of a star in the NHL who plays for a Canadian team, and surely the White House didn't even know he played for a Canadian team, saying that he is calling them Canadians these maple syrup F words. Because it's just going to confuse a lot of people when they see it. They're like, oh, Brady, I thought I liked you. I thought my kids looked up to you. And it turns out the White House just made this video up. So here's what Kachuk had to say about the videos in response.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing stuff that people think it's me, but if you watch the video, that's not my voice and something that I never say. I don't really know how that kind of took a storm on its own when I play here and give everything I have here. And I just think that's something that never I thought would happen in my head, and especially would never say it. And I know it's crazy when things get on social media how fast they go, and just of course I would never say anything like that.
Yep, he is the captain of the Ottawa Senators, located in the capital of Canada. Sorry, Brady. Oops. Sometimes the White House does that. Just don't. It's pretty easy to get around on that one. In a world with the White House, in a world where you can or cannot AI people doing things that could really piss off their home country, let's not. Aaron Glenn, idiot of the day. That's not abnormal. Here's what it sounded like when Aaron Glenn fell asleep at the NFL Combine.
50 prospects as Aaron Glenn looks on for the Jets. Fernando Mendoza 1. Jeremiah Love, who we'll also see on Saturday here on NFL Network, the running back from Notre Dame 2. And then number 3 is David Bailey of Texas Tech.
The middle of that audio, the entirety of that audio, which is 17 seconds, Aaron Glenn was asleep. The cameras found him. He's just taking a just resting his eyes during David Bailey's combine. You know, a top 5 draft pick, David Bailey. the guy who is maybe the best defensive player on the board in 2026. Aaron Glenn, the coach of the Jets, who could probably use a David Bailey-like player, was asleep at the combine. Remember the old pictures that would go viral of Bill Belichick with the binoculars, with the largest binoculars in the world, looking at the combine? He won Super Bowls. Aaron Glenn is the lame duck head coach of the Jets. Final idiot of the day. It's a tough one to approach. I'll read the headline as it's written. Dr. Poon faces 43 sex crime charges. You are awarded Idiot of the Day. This is from CBC News Canada. You are awarded Idiot of the Day if your name is Dr. Edward Oy Poon and your medical license has been suspended in Ontario and Saskatchewan for 43 sex crime charges, including sexual assault. And the first comment to this is, it's always the last guy you'd expect. Never thought I would see this day from Dr. Poon and his nefarious ways. It's not a funny thing. No laughing matter. You know what? Fine. Final idiot of the day. This one is free for you. The final idiot of the day. Joe Lunardi today. Bracketology. Why, Joe, is Missouri in the March Madness? Why is Texas A&M Texas? Why are they in March Madness? What has Auburn done? Auburn's like 14-13, and you have them in March Madness?
Not be texting him.
Put in, I don't know, man. Ugh. Have him on. That's fine. I have so many questions for Joe Lunardi.
Anybody else we want to insult before we have them on the show?
No. I mean, everybody's been an idiot of the day. You can't take that personally. Everyone has. They still join the show.
I'll tell them. I'll say, hey, the views of Drake Toll do not reflect the opinions of the entire channel.
Of the Drake Toll Show. The views of Drake Toll do not reflect the opinions of the Drake Toll Show.
Yes.
Text them that. See what happens.
I'm going to say it.
Lunardi has Georgia. Listen to this. This is the bubble. Georgia, in order. Georgia, Missouri, Texas A&M, Texas, and Auburn. It's just the SEC. And they're the third or fourth best conference in college basketball this year. The Big 12 is number one. They're just kind of boxing out the mid-tier of the Big 12. Half the Big 10 is half the top 10, I should say, is made up of the Big 12. All right, whatever, fine. I don't understand. I don't understand, Joe. Please, we didn't do it, Joe. We did it,
Joe.
When we return, Jackie Bradley Jr., Boston Red Sox legend, World Series champion, and member of the Indianapolis Clowns, joins the Drake Toll Show. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, and it is the Drake Toll Show.
NFL trade season has opened with a
freaks me out, and if I need a breather I can hit the parkway. Be home before the bars all close, drink away the lies she told. Think about the days she was a pure-eyed child, a rodeo queen, high school lover in a badass Jeep, far from the eyes of a watchful town. Mama didn't need to know. Good corn liquor to shake this cold, good heart loving on a gravel road. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? push came down to shove, I'd be a band for her love. Shoot sharp and walk away. She was good before she changed her name, and I bet that ain't all that's changed. Goddamn, I remember the night. I was a young punk kid from a dried-up town, Cold Car County full of hunting hounds. She was the one who kept those boys at bay. Her high heels and my red wing boots, cutting couches in the living room. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? I can't win for all this losing, I can't see for all this boozing. But by God, I can keep it together. Just to hold my baby close, get her moving down a county road, make up for lost time. She was a few right shy of a rodeo queen. She ran on sex and gasoline. Far more money than a boy like me could hold. She went off to paint the town, and I'm stuck holding these mountains down. Juliet, won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo? Won't you crawl outside your window and dance in the arms of your redneck Romeo?
To the brain. La-da-da-da-dee. La-da-da-da-da.
It is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, 300 affiliates across the country. You might not know that Jackie Bradley Jr., who is a all-star, two-time World Series champion with the Boston Red Sox, plays for the Indianapolis Clowns now. You're saying, who are the Indianapolis Clowns? I don't know them either. And what is so cool about what Banana Ball is doing, the Savannah Bananas organization, the Banana Ball Championship League, it's a league now, 6 teams that play this game, 25-plus games on ESPN this year. They've revived the final surviving Negro Leagues team, the Indianapolis Clowns. So when we found out the 6th expansion team from Bob Kendrick, who's the president of the Negro Leagues Museum, had kind of helped pioneer this. really cool moment to know that this brand is back, that Satchel Paige and Hank Aaron, their time with the organization is now honored by a living, breathing organization, folded in 1989, and now they're back, making their debut in the sport tonight, and with Jackie Bradley Jr. as the starting center fielder. That's crazy. And now, let's have him on the show. Jackie Bradley Jr., everyone. Jackie Bradley Jr. joins the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Boston Red Sox, World Series champion, MLB star, but now banana baller. Indianapolis clown, Jackie Bradley Jr. Jackie, take me through the decision at this stage in your career to join Banana Ball.
Yeah, it honestly happened pretty fast. I hadn't thought about it. I know my daughter really enjoys it. Emerson, she had watched it for quite some time, and I hadn't seen it personally. And I want to say last year is where I felt like it all started. I got a chance to play in Savannah Banana games against the Firefighters back in July of 2025 at Fenway Park. Jesse reached out and said it would be awesome if I could come out there and play and be celebrated in front of the fans. And after weeks of thinking about it, just because I wasn't sure what my schedule was going to be like at that particular time, excuse me, and then I said yes, and it was amazing. They are top notch. They really, took care of my family, made them feel very special. I had an amazing time. The players were awesome. Getting a chance to talk with them and kind of show me the ropes, because I've never seen a banana game before, and I obviously have never played it before. And now we're here. We're playing a full season, and we're going to see how this thing goes.
Opening day today for the Indianapolis Clowns against the Party Animals. I think it's interesting now, the growth of the sport of banana ball that Jesse Cole has built, that people are surprised it's not just the Savannah Bananas. That's the brand, the name they know. And now here come the Indianapolis Clowns. You were the first overall draft pick in the 2026 Banana Ball Championship League draft to the Clowns. That brand, Negro Leagues baseball team, 1989, they fold, and now they're back. What does it mean to carry that logo on your chest, on your hat?
It's an honor, and I think I'd be remiss to, tell you that we want to continue on that legacy. I got a chance to speak with some fans on the Banana Boat Cruise, and I really like this quote that he said. He says, the Indianapolis Clowns isn't a new team. They might be new to this particular league, but the Indianapolis Clowns were first. This is a fresh team. It's not a new team. So, honestly, we want to be able to kind of give back and play the game how they played the game, with such life, enthusiasm, trying to put smiles on people's face. And obviously, we want to win ball games. Obviously we want to entertain and do all the great things, but we also want to win. We're competitive.
Jackie Bradley Jr. joins the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Jackie, you 35 years old, which is young. 35. I mean, look, you've got plenty of ball.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. In the scheme of life, yes.
Time to go. There's plenty of time to go here.
Yeah.
But you decided in this decision to go to Banana Ball, not exactly knowing you'd be the first overall draft pick. It seemed obvious for Coach Eric Fox, the new head coach of the Indianapolis Clowns. But now you walk into a locker room as a rookie again. The sport of banana ball being so different from baseball with those 11 rules, the speed of the game. Does it feel like you're a rookie? You mentioned asking questions to the guys. Do you feel like a rookie right now?
I definitely feel like a rookie. This is all new to me. This is completely different from the things that I'm used to, and that's okay though. I think I came in here with an open mind, and I've been able to ask a lot of guys who have been in this league for quite some time, whether it was Bill Leroy, Noah, Dakota McFadden. I mean, the list goes on and on. I've talked to quite a bit of guys, Sunshine, kind of whoever, KJ, talked to Jack Olsen. I mean, everybody has knowledge in this game to be able to help you. You can't be afraid to reach out, because, a lot of them have been in this league for quite some time. So, who am I to not trying to pick their brains to be able to learn as fast as I possibly can? And, obviously some of them are on different teams, but, we all want this thing to work, and we're all pulling in the same direction. So it's going to be interesting.
Here's what I like about what you said about being a rookie and moving into Banana Ball is man, there's still so much to prove. Jesse Cole talks about that being in the first inning. There's still a lot to prove to the world that, hey, Banana Ball is something that brings smiles to faces, but there's a legitimacy to this sport. There are guys doing backflips and catching a ball in the outfield, which is unheard of. Some extreme feats. That said, the general public, right? We have 300 affiliates listening right now across the country. There are bound to be listeners who say, oh, Banana Ball, the Savannah Bananas, it's that fake weird thing where they juggle around and just Harlem Globetrotter this thing. But no, you see the athleticism. You see the dudes who are real deal athletes, and guys like you now that are in the sport, and it brings legitimacy. I guess the biggest question that I would have with that is, when you tell guys you played with in the show, or when you tell guys who are an affiliated ball, hey, I'm with the Savannah Bananas organization, I'm with the Indianapolis Clowns. For those guys who don't necessarily get it, for the ones who push back and say, oh, that's like a joke, right? How do you respond to that? How do you help legitimize what's being built right here?
You just got to see it for yourself. For one thing, the athleticism is real. I see it in the gym. I see it on the field. I see it with the entertainment aspect. So, as much as you want to just kind of, scream and shout at people, they honestly just have to see it for themselves. And then if you come into it with an open mind, like I did, and not kind of being closed minded, I understand you can't please everybody. And that's okay, because it's you can like two different things. You can like affiliated ball or the big leagues, and then you can like Banana Ball. And just a lot of people always ask me, what makes it so different, and I tell them I don't even want to compare them, because yes, you're playing baseball, but I think the mindset is completely different. So I just try to separate them in their own categories, and I equally enjoy them both.
Jackie Bradley Jr. on the Drake Toll Show. Your kids didn't get to say, I would like to say they weren't aware of your MLB career there the last couple of years. World Series victory. I think you had, a 2-year-old in your arms post-game?
Yeah. My oldest two, they have an idea. My younger two have no idea.
So is this kind of their first opportunity to see dad suit up in front of 40, 50,000 people and swing it?
The younger two for sure.
Yeah.
The older two, they're more so. Well, they're glad that I'm back playing baseball again, and they're excited for the adventures and all the places that they get to go to and visit. They're excited to meet the players.
Wow.
So that's what they're all about. They want to come see me to have the access to see all the other guys and ladies as well.
When you step on the field in that Clowns jersey to play in front of the crowd at Florida State, do you have your kids in mind? The idea that they get to see you dress in uniform and playing in front of these major crowds again, is that a driving factor for you?
Yes, for sure. They are one of the main reasons why I am doing this. My oldest one told me that I can't say no. When Jessie asked me if I wanted to be a part of this, she said, you can't say no. So, with her encouraging me to do it, that's just one of other reasons why I wanted to be a part of this.
What's been the most, and again, there are people listening right now who've never heard of Banana Ball. What has been the most shocking adjustment from Major League Baseball to this sport that is baseball by birth, but still so different from the traditional?
For me, personally, it's just more so, like I said, the mindset is completely different.
Wow.
It's so, I don't know, I want to say, I guess, business oriented, during playing professionally. You're making your career, you're always trying to get better. Obviously, you're trying to get better here as well, but there's a different mindset of making sure that you make the fans first. You want them to feel like they are the only person that you are interested in at that particular moment. And I think that's special, because then that makes people enjoy you for who you are. You're able to show your personality a little bit more. You're able to reach a larger, whether it's a demographic or a larger scale, to be able to hopefully get fans and get them to appreciate what this sport's truly about.
The opportunity to have you, as somebody myself who's been a Banana Ball now for going on a third tour, the opportunity to have a name like yours and a leadership like yours in the sport is, you can see it radiating off the guys that are playing around you, and the way they're able to soak up knowledge from you and vice versa is so cool. That osmosis, I'm not using that word correctly, but the osmosis, if you will, of seeing their Banana Ball knowledge feed into you and your family, and then your knowledge of ball go right back to them is it's unique. There's nowhere else in the world where this kind of relationship's happening right now, and what Banana Ball is building. Jackie, before we let you go, I mean, people knew the identity of Jackie Bradley Jr., the Boston Red Sox, as the MLB player, as this guy who is grinded out tough, like the savvy defensive outfielder who's going to give everything, but still have the hip thrust and give you a little goof out there. What's the identity of Jackie Bradley Jr., the Indianapolis clown and Banana Ball player?
Same guy. We're going to find out. We are definitely going to find out. I'm definitely going to have as much fun as I possibly can with it. I have a great group of guys on our team, and they're bringing out sides of me that I didn't even know I had. So I think we're going to be able to push each other. We're going to have other guys around the league being able to kind of, talk with them and compete with them. It's going to be an amazing experience that I'm very much looking forward to.
And I lied to you. I'm going to sneak one more in for free.
Come on,
you've been asked this probably 15 times now since you got here. Of the schedule the Clowns will play this season, multiple games on ESPN, national networks, and some major venues across the country. Is there one spot that you're most excited to go to on this 2026 tour?
Yes. Richmond, Virginia.
Come on now.
Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, that's where I was born and raised. That's home. That's home. I went to high school at Prince George, about 20, 30 minutes south of Richmond, but I was born and raised in Richmond before moving down to Prince George. So I'll have a lot of family, friends in town, and we are looking forward to putting on a show for them.
That is so cool.
May 1st and May 2nd.
Yeah, what's awesome about that, too, is the perspective of you will be in some of the largest venues in the world this year, thanks to Banana Ball, and it's Richmond. It's home. It's something about home. It's going to bring you back.
Yeah.
That is so neat. Jackie, we are, like I said, on behalf of the organization, to have you here, for those of us who've been here and seen it when it was, all minor league stadiums. Now to have a guy like you in the fold is spectacular, and the growth of the game that brings is going to be special. It's going to be special to see you in Indianapolis representing the Clowns at Victory Field later this season, and to tell the story of who the Clowns are, not what they were, but who they are and who they still are, the living, breathing Indianapolis Clowns. Appreciate your time. Super grateful for this. Best of luck in your debut tonight.
Thank you so much, Drake. I appreciate you, buddy.
That is Jackie Bradley Jr., the newest member of the Indianapolis Clowns. Are you buying it now, Addie? Are you in now?
If it makes you happy, I'll say yes.
Well, if Jackie Bradley Jr. can't convince you, maybe Ryan Howard or Shane Victory will.
Ryan Howard.
We'll get there. We'll build up to it. It is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. When we come back, it's Friday. Time for the moments of the week. Top 3 moments of the week this week on the show. Are you involved? Could it be you? Could one of them be you? This is The Drake Toll Show.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, soul partner, Mr. Duck Sound, better known as Sir Douglas Quintet from San Antonio. Wherever you are, brother. Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind. For you don't belong to me. Your heart belongs to someone else. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day that you went away and left me? I was so lonely, praying for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue? I was so lonely, prayed for you only, my love. Why should I keep loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're the blame for making me blue?
It's the Drake Toll Show. You're sitting right now in Mission Viejo, California. You're listening to the Drake Toll Show, and after this, you'll listen to Nick Costos from You Better You Bet, Bleck and Abdallah. And Bleck and Abdallah will lead into Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show. All of this on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Sirius XM as well. You know, one of our biggest affiliates that runs the show, like, it's cool to me to know that somebody's listening right now outside of San Diego. And they woke up and they're getting ready to go for their day. And the Drake Toll Show's on at 5:43 in the morning as they head to the gym. Good to see you. Good to have you. And I'm not going to force you to. I'm not going to make you listen to every minute of every show. So we've compiled the best moments that have happened on the Drake Toll Show this week. The first of them is an honorable mention because it did not happen on the Drake Toll Show this week. I was listening yesterday. I always do. I listen to most of the shows of the network. When those guys made pancakes the other day, it's pretty awesome. Linnell Willingham. Listening to Nick Costos yesterday. And all-time rant. Just awesome. From Costos to... Who's he yelling at here?
Tyler Morales.
All right. From Nick Costos to his producer, Tyler Morales. Nick, take it away.
Tyler, you know that this is a crew segment. Why did you not set up prior? Like, what's the answer to that question?
Good question.
I'm going to flip out. Tyler, are you ready to come on the air, yes or no? Okay. Tyler's... Yes. Yes, Tyler is not coming on the air for at least 2 weeks. He's in the penalty box. I'm sick. I'm done with it.
Many are saying the day will come where this Addy Bates and I have this exact same interaction, or where I ask Curtis to contribute something small to the show, and I will certainly speak. You know what, Curtis? You're done. You're done. 2 weeks. That's it. That's it. Lack of preparation. Curtis is out due to toe. He's IR'd.
Not to...
What was the guy's name again?
Rear
What's
end
the producer's
infection.
name? Kevin?
Tyler?
Tyler. That's awesome. That's why
He's
I
one of-
listen to
they
You
have-
Better You Bet from Nick Costos.
That's Tyler Morales. There's Bill Zimmerman. There's Kenny. And then there's
That's on my
Downtown
ground. I
Mike
remember
Brown.
that name.
We got you and Curtis?
And
It's technically me, yeah, too.
Curtis is also on that show.
Not really on it, but
Curtis is a cast. He's in the credits for You Better You Bet, Nick Costos.
He's like in the chair in the background, just happy to be a part of it.
Whoa, okay. All right.
Running
Don't
the board.
do that
Running
to
the
Curtis.
board. Running the board. Right, Curtis?
yeah. Totally.
You derailed. That's the honorable mention moment of the week.
Front, the back, whatever it is.
On the Drake Toll Show. Another one that I can't get over is when I told our guest, Sean Little, this week, I was going to ask him a stupid question, to which he vehemently agreed that is a very stupid question. And I liked that level of honesty. That's what you get with this show. Moment number 3 on our top moments of the week on this program comes from Sean Little.
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay.
And I think it is. And I think it is a stupid question because overall, like I just talked about, there's been a stretch here without Aaron Gordon where the Nuggets have been like bottom 10 defensive team in the league, and they're actually trying to play defense. Like if you go look at the other teams on the bottom of that list, they're not even trying to win games. Denver's trying their hardest here without Aaron Gordon, and defensively they're atrocious. Podziemski went crazy in the fourth quarter. Overall, they like the Warriors aren't better than Minnesota. They aren't better than the Spurs. They aren't better than the Thunder. I don't think they're better than Denver. There's a lot of teams ahead of them. I don't think they can compete. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble winning one round of the playoffs.
That was after I mistakenly, and I will never do it again, asked if the Golden State Warriors could be a factor in the NBA postseason. Because I see it. After the Denver win, shorthanded Denver, after the win, I can piece together in my brain, Steph Curry comes back, the Golden State Warriors have just the window's closing. aggressively. They're becoming, you know what they're becoming? Oh, no. The Golden State Warriors are becoming the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, they're going to win, but will they ever compete? Will they compete for a championship? That window's very rapidly closing. So I don't think so. And I asked Sean Little if there was any way the Warriors made noise toward the end of the year, and he said no. They will not. That was the number 3 moment on the program. Matt McCall joined this show, number 2 moment of the week, to talk college basketball. And I thought Matt hit the nail on the head in discussing Darren Peterson and Kansas, because that kid seems to be a serious issue for what Bill Self is trying to build in 2026, as sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't, and oftentimes he takes himself off the court. Matt McCall on the culture of the Kansas Jayhawks under Bill Self with Darren Peterson's saga ongoing.
Doesn't make any sense to me. There's a level of frustration. You can tell that there's a level of frustration from Bill Self. I have said this repeatedly. I don't understand why he doesn't bench him. I don't understand why he doesn't not start him, and he continues to play him. And it's a culture thing. And I tweeted this on Saturday after the game, after they got embarrassed by Cincinnati. I said, you know what? Culture still matters. And you can't tell me that that's not having an impact on everybody else that's a part of that program. And it is. And some of those guys have got to be getting frustrated. And some of those guys might be saying, you know what, Coach, what are we doing? And why are we continuing to deal with this guy, whether he's in, whether he's out? And it's going to affect them. And I truly believe it. I know they had a big win over Oklahoma State, and everyone's like, no, they're fine. They're moving forward. Everyone wants to say he's still going to be the number 1 pick. I'm saying, heck no, he's not, because there's no way if I'm a GM, I'm not seeing what's happening. It's going to impact his draft status. Whoever is advising him needs to start to understand that, but it's a shame. And it's a shame because the product out there on the floor that we're seeing, I mean, how about we got Duke, Michigan on Saturday? What a basketball game that was between 2 outstanding coaches and 2 outstanding teams. So, you know, it's just one of those things that's going to continue to get talked about no matter when Kansas plays. We're going to have to continue to harp on it and talk about it, but this team is not making a run in March because culture still matters, and that was evident over the weekend.
Bang. This team is not making a run in March. Sell the Kansas Jayhawks because of Darren Peterson and the culture issue in Lawrence, Kansas. That's free for you. You got that take for free on the Drake Toll Show. And then finally, we opened this program on Monday talking with Pete Jensen about the United States hockey team winning gold over Canada, an upset over Canada. Glory for the U.S. The number 1 moment on the Drake Toll Show comes from the start of our week.
Oh, it's awesome. And it's becoming a trend in hockey where you see these families that obviously invest in the sport. They put their kids through the sport. They're maybe a year or 2 or 3 behind each other, but you see Matthew and Brady Tkachuk, part of the strong fabric of USA hockey the past few years at 4 Nations last year, and then here in the Olympics. And then, yeah, the Hughes brothers. Luke Hughes wasn't there. He's a bit too young and inexperienced. But then you have Jack Hughes, who, when healthy, is one of the most electric players in the NHL. If you said top 10 most electric players in the NHL, even prior to the tournament, I would have put Jack Hughes on there. And then, of course, Quinn Hughes is, if not the best defenseman in the league, the second best defenseman in the league behind Cale Makar. But he's proven himself in this tournament where he scored that clutch goal against Sweden the previous round, right? I mean, he is an absolute workhorse, does it all. He's got that extra tenacity where he wanted to stay on the ice for that extra shift, a double shift, and then scored the goal against Sweden in overtime. So, yeah, Quinn Hughes is an absolute beast. And what these families are doing, you know, going through the channels to develop the United States National Development Program, I know Hughes was a part of, and that is how the U.S. has closed the gap in talent between Canada and the U.S. and how they were able to accomplish this feat. And it hasn't been a pretty year this year either for the Devils. So props to Jack Hughes, who has kind of taken this tournament and could use it as a springboard as he goes back to the Devils to try to get them back into the playoffs.
The United States hockey team won gold on Sunday. Don't lose that storyline. Don't lose that feeling. Don't lose that emotion in that moment. Because of how it felt in the 24 hours afterward, how it felt opening the Drake Toll Show on Monday morning, losing that would stink. Because for 24 hours, the United States was truly united across all bipartisan issue, watching the men's team win gold. Now, of course, in the wake of that, the FBI director's in the locker room and conversation about the taxpayer dime, and there's the joke about the women's team. I mean, it really genuinely lasted about 15 minutes, which is a good chunk, until it all just fell into more controversy. But for a moment on Sunday, we all woke up early, and we watched the United States do what the United States does best, and that is win. That is the nature of this show. That is the nature of this station. That's the nature of you and what we look for, what we cheer for sports for, why we love sports. Tiger in 05, the U.S. Olympic team in 2026, the Miracle on Ice, the Kick Six, that stuff. That's why we show up every day. That's why you show up 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. to the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. That is Addie Bates. She produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we return, it won't be we. It will be he. Nick Costos of You Better, You Bet on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app, followed by Bleck and Abdallah. And then Jim Rome will get you home from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time right here. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Monday. We'll see you there. Plenty of things to look at over the weekend. The NFL Combine will be top of mind. Addie, thanks to you. Curtis, thanks to you. Colin Jones, and to Armin Williams. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.